On Global TV News Express, the Defense Minister says no nation can confront regional security challenges alone. In business, Lagos GDP hits $259 billion, ranked Africa's second largest city economy. On the foreign scene, Mark Carney to be sworn in as Canada Prime Minister Friday. And in sports, Osimhen says Super Eagles desperate to reach 2026 World Cup. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. We apologize for that break in transmission. Minister of State for Defense Dr. Bello Matawalle says effectively addressing the security challenges in West African sub-region requires collective efforts from all affected countries. Matawalle made this remark during the gala night for the 43rd Ordinary Meeting of the Economic Community of West African States ECOWAS Committee of Chief of Defense Staff in Abuja. The former governor of Zamfara State expressed Nigeria's appreciation to the ECOWAS military chiefs for their dedication to the shared vision of peace, unity, and regional development. The Commonwealth Association of Nigeria has joined other member states to commemorate Commonwealth Day 2025, reaffirming its dedication to democracy, human rights, global peace, inclusivity, and sustainable development. Kike Lomo-Okere reports.
Commonwealth Day is an annual celebration observed by millions across Commonwealth in Africa, Asia, the Caribbean, and Americas, the Pacific, and Europe. The events and activities taking place throughout the month of March include civic and faith gatherings, school assemblies, debates, flag-raising ceremonies, and cultural celebration. Stakeholders at the event call on the federal government of Nigeria to eradicate lack of peace and unity so as to enhance inclusivity and national development.
The main thrust of this lecture is the peace and unity of our nation. That the important thing is that every country has its own story. The difference between one country and another, the success of one country and the failure of another, and the difference in the choices they make. Whether choice of leadership, Nigeria is progressing, but not as a rate that ought to progress. Because all the countries that were poor alongside Nigeria in the 60s, they have all overtaken Nigeria. And the basic thing that we are having is this issue of lack of unity and lack of peace within Nigeria. Like I said there, that
I encourage every single Nigerian to have the courage to take bold steps to set aside those things that that divide us as a people, and bring those things that unite us as a people. Because when we are united, we will make stronger achievements together.
The core values of Commonwealth is peace, democracy, and good governance. And that's why all the speakers are talking about peace, how we can live together as one family under God. That is the core activities and core values of the
2025 Commonwealth Day, which is tagged Together We Strive, provide a critical opportunity to take stock of the national challenges, progress, and expectation in both personal and community relationship. Kike Lomo-Okere, Global Television News.
Kebbi State Governor Nasir Idris has assured victims of the recent Lakurawa attacks in Arewa local government area that his administration will take swift action to resettle them in their communities. Idris made this pledge during a condolence visit to the internally displaced persons camp in Kangiwa, Kebbi State. The camp shelters those displaced from Benin, Debe, Danmake and Tambo, where armed assailants attacked, killing 11 people and setting one of the villages ablaze. The Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TET Fund, has inaugurated a committee on alternative power supply to address electricity challenges in beneficiary institutions, ensuring improved learning and research environment. Jumai Manson reports.
The availability of stable power is critical to the functionality of tertiary institutions, without which effective learning, research and innovation are significantly hampered. Chairman of the committee, retired Honorable Aminu Masari, highlighted the importance of the initiative, describing it as a strategic roadmap towards sustainable energy solutions.
The board has created an intervention line to assist tertiary institutions in meeting the power demands.
Retired Honorable Aminu Masari, Chairman, Alternative Power Supply Committee. Electricity has become a major challenge for tertiary institutions. This intervention by TET Fund is essential to ensuring that students and faculty members have access to reliable power for academic activities and research. Speaking on behalf of the committee, retired Honorable Sunday Adekboju assured stakeholders of the committee's commitment to executing its mandate effectively.
Getting power in our institutions because of the reason that has been stated by the chairman. On behalf of the members, as expected of us. Thank you.
As the committee begins work, expectations are high. That is, recommendations will lead to sustainable, cost-effective energy solutions for Nigeria's higher education sector. Jumai Manson reporting for Global TV News.
The Nigerian Senate has defended its decision to suspend Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan before the Inter-Parliamentary Union, stating that her suspension was not related to allegations of sexual harassment but due to gross misconduct. Speaking before the Inter-Parliamentary Union, IPU, the chairperson of the House Committee on Women Affairs and Social Development, Kafilat Obara, dismissed claims made by Akpoti-Uduaghan at the United Nations event that she was suspended for raising allegations of sexual harassment against Senate President Godswill Akpabio. Obara says she has been mandated by the National Assembly to present a response to Akpoti-Uduaghan's speech delivered at the 69th session of the United Nations Commission on the Status of Women. In another development, the Nigerian Senate has directed the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to comply with a Supreme Court ruling that mandates the restoration of Aniocha North State constituency in Delta State. The decision follows a motion moved by Senator Ned Nwoko, representing Delta North, emphasizing the necessity of adhering to the court's decision. Global Television brings you details. During Senate discussions, lawmakers voiced concerns that the constituency's suspension had deprived its residents of appropriate representation in the Delta State House of Assembly.
I rise to move the motion for the restoration of Aniocha North 2 State Constituency pursuant to Supreme Court judgment. The Senate notes that in 2014, the people of Idumujono, Idumuchuboko, Okunzo, Uboba, Idumuogo, Ubodu, Ubulubu, Anioma, I'm sure that sounds familiar, Ogodo towns in the Aniocha North local government area of Delta State initiated a legal action at the Federal High Court, Asaba, seeking the restoration of the Aniocha North 2 State Constituency.
The abolition or suspension of certain state constituencies across the country has actually deprived the people of proper representation and cause a level of imbalance in the political equation of some of these states. And because INEC is a creation of the law, it is expected that once the court has ruled in favor of the restoration of suppressed constituencies, it should be taken as automatic.
Second North, we have only one constituency in that local government, state constituency in that local government, which is bigger than most other local government that has 2 or 3 constituencies. So we are in court, and the population supports that. So what he's saying is correct in most places, especially in Delta State, sir.
Once Supreme Court pronounces, you know better than I do, because as a lawyer, you know that. Once the Supreme Court make pronouncement, it's like making a law. So in this case, there's a pronouncement by the Supreme Court that this should be done. And once you have that done, you know that as a lawyer, that must be implemented.
In his remarks, President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, stressed the importance of restoring the constituency before the next Delta State House of Assembly elections.
That the Independent National Electoral Commission complies with this resolution by ensuring that the restoration of Anyocha North 2 state constituency of Delta State takes effect in the next House of Assembly election after the current life of the current state Delta State House of Assembly in compliance with Section 115 of the Constitution. Those in support of Resolution 2 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
The Senate therefore called on INEC to implement the Supreme Court's verdict without further delay. For Global Television, Queen Agap. Minister of Art, Culture, Tourism and Creative Economy, Hannatu Musawa, has called on Nigerians to embrace religious and ethnic tolerance to ensure peace and economic prosperity of the nation. Musawa made the call at a Ramadan iftar break-in of fast she hosted for stakeholders, ministry officials and the media in Abuja. The minister noted that tolerance and understanding are needed for unity, peace and development of a culturally pluralistic state like Nigeria. The Federal High Court in Makurdi has restrained the Benue State Elections Petition Tribunal from conducting its sittings at the Nigeria Bar Association headquarters or any venue in Abuja. This follows an order of the Federal High Court served on members of the panel, stopping them from conducting any sitting. Felicity Indera completes the report.
Following the relocation of the Benue State Local Government Elections Petition Tribunal to the Nigerian Bar Association headquarters in Abuja over allegations of insecurity at the Makurdi High Court complex, the Federal High Court Makurdi has given a restraining order stating that the appeal tribunal is to be held in Makurdi and nowhere else. Counsel to the respondents as well as the petitioners acknowledged receipt of the court order prohibiting the local government tribunal from sitting anywhere in Abuja.
In that order, sitting of the Benue State Local Government Election Tribunal and the Appeal Tribunal is to be conducted or held in Makurdi, so that whenever the arrangement is made, they will serve us hearing notice to go and sit in Makurdi.
Because of the court order, the members of the tribunal, some of them are high court judges, they put heads together and they've addressed members, the council, the petitioners, and have resolved to revert to the Chief Judge of Benue State for the way forward. So if there is going to be security provided for us in Makurdi, nobody is prepared to take the trouble to come to Abuja.
Members of the panel, 3 panels, Zone A, B, and C, informed us that they are in receipt of a motion, a restraining order from the Federal High Court Makurdi, and that they being judges themselves, they would not like to disobey the court order. So that being the case, we didn't sit.
They expressed optimism that this obstruction will not affect the 180-day duration for the local government elections petition tribunal to conclude its proceedings. Felicity Ndere reporting for Global TV News.
Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara says he's ready to represent the 2025 budget to the State House of Assembly whenever the lawmakers are prepared. He stated this while speaking to residents of Kana local government area during the commissioning of health facilities. This came shortly after he was denied entry into the Assembly quarters. Governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, has reaffirmed his commitment to the development of the state, urging leaders of Owerri Zone to remain united and focused on the collective good of the state. This comes as high-powered delegation led by Captain Emmanuel Iheanacho passed a vote of confidence on his administration. Correspondent Amarachi Ibe has more.
Seated at these Executive Council chambers are leaders and stakeholders from Owerri Zone, led by Captain Emmanuel Iheanacho of the Imo Harmony Project. Welcoming the delegation, Governor Hope Uzodinma appreciates their support and assured them of his administration's continued efforts to balance equity and competence in governance.
I must thank you for the wonderful accolades showered on me. I believe in the charter of equity, but like you said, the charter of equity is not to individuals. The charter of equity is to zones. Remember that the person I was supposed to succeed me must come from my party.
Leading the delegation, Captain Emmanuel Iheanacho commended the governor's developmental strides, particularly in road infrastructure, and pledged the continued support of Owerri Zone.
That we are doing absolutely well, although Owerri and Okigwe. We note that our brothers in Owerri Zone have had the opportunity of producing the governor for nearly 20 years or more. Our brothers from Okigwe have had the opportunity of producing the governor for about 4 years. And in the Owerri Zone, we have had the opportunity of contributing the governor for only 7 months. Charter of equity, which really dictates that we will be able to produce the governor on 2027. We come down here today, in addition to all things I've said, to come and support that that we have said.
Some stakeholders also spoke on the importance of their visit to the governor.
We must thank Governor Hope Uzodinma for coming out with Charter of Equity. It simply means that power will rotate, because when it rotates, it will enhance peace, it will enhance unity, and above all, it will enhance progress.
The highlight of the meeting was a vote of confidence moved by Honorable Tochi Okere and seconded by Honorable Samuel Otibe, receiving unanimous approval.
Of this motion moved and seconded, say aye.
With this unanimous vote of confidence, Owerri Zone leaders have reinforced their commitment to the governor's vision for a more prosperous Imo State. From Government House Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
You're watching the live broadcast of the News Express. When News Express returns, House Representatives proposes tax exemption for military personnel. We'll bring you details from the world of business as well as foreign and sports stories right after the break. Please stay with us.
Do you know that Global Television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch Global Television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to Global Television. Imo State has taken a major step in its digital transformation journey with a strategic partnership between Imo Digital City and the U.S. Market Access Center, USMAC, a top Silicon Valley-based startup accelerator. The agreement aims to connect Imo's tech ecosystem with global opportunities, fostering innovation, investment, and job creation. Our correspondent, Amarachi Ibe, reports.
A new era for Imo State digital economy, as Governor Hope Uzodinma and Chris Berry Managing Director of US Mark, formalized a partnership set to position Imo Digital City on a global tech map. According to Governor Hope Uzodinma, the collaboration will provide training, knowledge transfer, and access to international investors, accelerating the state's digital growth.
With the signing of this agreement, we are moving Imo State very close to our digital industrialization program. What we're trying to do is to enable multinational companies with global name recognition to partner with Imo State in our determination to create jobs, reduce youth recruitment.
For US Mark, this partnership reflects its commitment to expanding technology innovation beyond Silicon Valley, empowering startups and entrepreneurs in Imo State.
The governor's various, upskill initiatives, and our goal is to create a next generation of world-class startup founders here in Imo, because we have unbelievably high expectations of them. Our belief is that these people can create companies with new, innovative solutions that can not just solve the problems that are present here, but that are present across all of Nigeria, West Africa, all of Africa, and honestly, the world.
With this milestone agreement, Imo State is not just embracing digital transformation, but taking bold steps towards an innovation-driven economy that will attract investment, create jobs, and drive technological advancement. From Government House Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
The House of Representatives Committee on Finance has proposed tax exemption on the personal income of military personnel in Nigeria. Chairman of the committee, Abiodun Faleke, disclosed this during the clause-by-clause consideration of the 4 tax bills transmitted to the Parliament by President Bola Tinubu in October 2024. Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, says President Bola Tinubu's administration is committed to the disbursement of the Cabotage Vessel Financing Fund. This was contained in a statement by the head of public relations at the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, Osage Edward, who says the decision was the focus of discussions when the Director General of the agency, Dr. Dayo Moberiola, led a delegation from the agency to meet with the minister. On the foreign scene, former central bank banker Mark Carney will be sworn in as Canada's next Prime Minister on Friday morning, along with his cabinet. The new Liberal leader has promised a seamless and quick transition as he takes over from Justin Trudeau, who announced his resignation in January after nearly 10 years in power. A political novice at age 59, Carney was overwhelmingly elected new leader of the Liberal Party, winning 86% of more than 150,000 votes cast. In sports, Victor Osimhen says Nigeria will be driven by desperation in 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers this month as they look to avoid missing out on a second successive World Cup finals. The Super Eagles have made a winless start in Group C, drawing 3 of their first 4 games with striker Osimhen absent through injury. The West Africans endured what the 26-year-old described as a heartbreaking disappointment 3 years ago when fierce rivals Ghana progressed from a play-off and reached Qatar 2022 at their expense. As we end the Global TV News Express, here's a recap of our top stories. Minister of State for Defense, Dr. Bello Matawalle, says that effectively addressing the security challenges in West African sub-region requires collective efforts from all affected. Lagos State has cemented its position as one of Africa's economic powerhouses, with its gross domestic product reaching an impressive $259 billion based on purchasing power parity. On the foreign scene, former central banker Mark Carney will be sworn in as Canada's next Prime Minister on Friday morning, along with his cabinet. And in sports, Victor Osimhen says Nigeria will be driven by desperation in 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers this month. And that's it on Global TV News Express. Don't forget to follow us across all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. You can also download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. I am Queen Agaba. Thank you for watching and see you again.